Hi everyone, as promised I'll be looking at different mini videos for this week because the content is quite heavy theoretically, and so I'm going to divide it into the different types of theories that we get for motivation. So in this video we're going to touch on content-based motivational theories, and that is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, McClelland's needs theory, and also then Herzberg's two-factor motivation theory. So if we start with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you'll see in the textbook that Maslow talks around a triangle, and he talks around that we have 5 basic needs as individuals, and it's based on the fact that people want things. And so when one need is satisfied, then another need takes its place. And people are never satisfied, and so therefore they behave in a particular way to satisfy their needs. So people's needs, according to Maslow, are arranged in order of importance. And like I say, I spoke about the triangle. And so at the base level, we talk about physiological needs, then safety needs, then social needs, then ego or esteem needs, and then self-actualization needs. And so they move from the most basic human need, which is the physiological, to then the higher order needs of self-actualization, ego, esteem, those kinds of things. So if we look at this hierarchy of needs, Maslow also says that to move to one or to the level above, you will need to satisfy that need. So let's talk around the needs level. So physiological needs, those are things like food, water, sleep, air. In an organization, those would be things like a salary. Those would be things like having a toilet. Those would be things like having a canteen. Or those would be things like having heating and lighting in the organization. At a safety level, we're talking around safety, security, stability, protection. Those are things like safe working conditions, things like company benefits, things like job security. At a social level, where Maslow talks around love and affection and belonging, we talk about having a cohesive work group, we talk about friendly supervision, we talk about professional associations. At the esteem level, where we talk around self-respect, where we talk around self-esteem and prestige and status, we would look at high-status jobs in the organization. We would look at having particular job titles. So maybe you're a manager, maybe you are a CEO, maybe you're a managing director. We'd also look at feedback from the job itself. In terms of you getting that feedback, say, oh, you've done a fantastic job, or you've done wonderfully at something. Then the self-actualization is the highest and the tip of the hierarchy of Maslow's needs, and it talks around growth and advancement and creativity. So we would expect in an organizational space or a business space that the job would be challenging, that there would be opportunities for creativity and achievement in work, and also advancement in the organization. So this is where promotion becomes quite important for people. Moving up in the organization becomes very, very important for the person. So that's, in a nutshell, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and there's no way to know with 100% certainty that people will move through those needs as expected, but it's the best way to explain the needs in the most basic form. We also then look at Herzberg's two-factor motivation theory. So Herzberg proposed a motivational model that's made up of 2 factors: hygiene factors, which are present in terms of the job or work environment and are related to the job directly. They're often known as the job context factors, and they are what people consider essential to do a job. They don't act as motivational forces, but they can lead to negativity if they are not present. And then we talk around motivational or growth factors. And those are the sets of factors or the working conditions that tend to motivate people to improve their performance, and this results in job satisfaction. And they obviously are quite representative just in terms of salary, job security, supervision, recognition, achievement, growth. Herzberg sees the solution to any motivation problem in his theory as the design of the job itself, and we're going to speak a little bit about it in this chapter, and also just ensuring that there's motivation internally and externally. So ideally, people will look at either the hygiene factors, or they will then look at the growth factors that people would need. And it's quite a simple way of explaining it, but if you look in your textbook and read through the theory, it becomes quite clear what people would need according to Herzberg and his two-factor theory. Then we have McClelland's theory of needs. And McClelland doesn't focus on instinctive needs, so not like the basic food, security, social needs, but he talks around achievement and affiliation and power. And he says that people have an inherent need for achievement, and so that's the desire to excel, the desire to accomplish something difficult and to do it above the standard that is expected. And so those with high needs for achievement will need tasks of a moderate difficulty. So you can't just give them any old job to do. They need some kind of difficulty, and they have to do their jobs or their tasks to their own efforts. People with a high need for affiliation are those people that like to work with people and like to join groups, and they enjoy working in a social setting, and they need warm and close interpersonal relationships, and they want to be liked and accepted. The need for power, those are the people that reflect a person's desire to influence or coach or teach or encourage others to achieve. And so managers will need to look and see what their subordinates enjoy, or what kind of need they talk to more. So is it the need for achievement, the need for affiliation, or the need for power? We know that motivation in management describes ways in which managers manage their staff and their people to promote productivity. And so it's important that we look at needs at all times.